and one of my mom's an addictive personality.
See, they both have the gene, probably.
Right. My mom's recovered, but my dad, I have the alcoholic gene from him.
Okay.
But that's not my problem. My problem, that's one of my problems. But I'm trying to recover now. I'm going to steps, and it's only been 60 days, but I'm going to go for it.
What's the main problem here?
Well, see, okay, my girlfriend, for the last year, she's been recovered for a year now, and during that time, she went through a lot of hell with me, and I was really pretty selfish about everything, I didn't realize, what damage I was causing to her and stuff. Well, 2 months ago, I started, I dropped the, I picked up the shovel and I just dropped it, I said I don't want to drink anymore. And the strange thing, I felt like being honest with her, so I had cheated on her during that time, during my alcoholic binges. And so I told her, I had cheated several times, and I felt like I had to be honest with her, because I didn't want her to find out later. So I told her about everything, and I don't know if that was the stupidest mistake in my life or the greatest thing I ever did.
That is Harold, right?
Yeah.
It was essential to your recovery. Your recovery would not have been successful if you did not have the ability to be completely honest.
Yeah, but what happened?
Drew, I told her, but okay, I knew the consequences, what they could be.
And what is the problem now after you told her?
Well, I feel, okay, this is what happened. At first she said, I can deal with this, and I was so relieved, I knew I could.
But what is the problem?
Well, now she's changed her mind, and she doesn't want to ever deal with me ever again. And I understand that, but
has she cheated on you?
I didn't realize how much it would hurt until now. Now it's actually hit me that she doesn't want to be a part of my life, and I don't know if in the future she will be or not, and I feel like I'm losing someone I really care about.
Harold, this is still part of the wreckage of your past.
Yes.
This is still the consequences of your using.
I realize, but I can't approach her at all. I don't know how to approach her and tell her,
well,
hey.
Right now, I know this is probably the hardest thing you're ever going to do, but you got to focus on your recovery.
Oh, it's tough as hell.
Yeah, you got to go to meetings every day. You got to work the steps, and maybe a few months down the line, you'll be in a place where you can approach her once again. But now, you're going to have to deal with the wreckage, and she's part of it. And the fact is, I commend you for being completely honest with her, because that is crucial to your survival of this illness.
Okay. What about the
fact? Thank you for validating that for me. I mean,
what do you got, Robert and Simon? Do you want to add anything here?
I have a sort of mixture of feelings. Actually, I think the doctor's advice is very sound, but I can also sympathise with Harold's worry that, because sometimes there are things that are best left unsaid. I don't know if he's obviously more qualified than I am, I suppose, to say that that's crucial to a recovery, like for a recovering alcoholic, to admit to themselves what they've done and what they think's wrong and what bothers them. But I'm not sure if it's absolutely vital to admit it to other people.
Well, in fact, it may be a little bit early in his recovery to be doing that kind of thing.
See, I would lie.
Poorman, maybe one day you'll have to work the steps. Part of the step work is being accountable. And right now, you need to focus on just the early step work and being accountable and dealing with you have to be honest. You've got to be willing to be honest.
But he lost his girlfriend.
Hey, but if it comes up in the part of being on, in the course of things, this comes out, the fact that you're honest is good. It's not bad. I'm sorry that the consequence was that you lost her. And I somehow have faith that if, you've got to have a little bit of faith here too, right? You've got to hope that there's a higher power looking out for you, and that there will be that things are happening for a reason, and that you need to focus on your survival of this illness and focus on recovery. If you do, perhaps it will work out a little bit later when you're in a position to be able to approach her once again.
Thank you, Drew. You know what really stinks about this, though. See, she was my only friend. When it came down to it, and she was the last person in my life who really wanted anything to do with me. And it came at a point where she realized, she was in her recovery, and I thought, well, she would be the last person to be out of my life. And now it's lonely as hell out here, I'll tell you. I mean,
dude, you'll meet so many more women. I swear, you'll be just doing awesome. You gotta hang out with The Cure. You can meet lots of women.
I'd love to. God, I'd love to. Oh, Robert, can I ask Robert a question?
Yeah, Robert, he wants to ask you a question here.
Yeah. Robert, I was wondering if when you met Mary, did you always know that you'd end up together?
I didn't know. I still don't. I sort of hoped.
Was it a rocky road? I mean, did you deal with anything like this with her?
Yeah, I mean, there was a certain part of like the middle of the 1980s when I was pretty gruesome to be around, and probably Mary was and Simon as well were about the last two people that really wanted anything to do with me. So I mean, I think the doctor is right. The other thing about it is that if she really cares for you, then it's probably just a way of her getting her own self-esteem back. If she's like thinking that she's been around you, like for her to be hurt by it is only natural. And maybe like in a a few months or something, when she starts to think about it, and she sees that you're like doing your bit and you're like kicking drink, she'll probably have a new respect for you anyway. So it may well work out better than if she just like hangs around and stuff. You might think it's lonely, but she might just be, if you find that she's doing that out of habit and just like feeling sorry for you all the time, it's not a very good relationship.
Hey, thanks a lot for your call, Harold.
All right, thank you. Can I just add some
Whoops. Go ahead.
I just want to say, I know, or I can imagine that beating alcohol is a very hard thing to do, but the thing that's harder to do than that is to be honest, and I think that anyone that's really honest is really clever, and that's the hardest thing of all, I think, to be honest. And so if you've got to have faith in yourself, I think to be honest is to be like really good.
Is that Simon who said that?
Yeah.
Simon, that was profound.
No, it wasn't.
You know what? I got to disagree with you guys, because if I had cheated, and it was long past, I would have...
Poorman, we're talking about somebody who's suffering from a particular illness that has a particular and very complicated course of treatment. That's important for his treatment to be able to be 100% honest. Now, I agree it's a little early in his recovery to be dealing with these kinds of issues, but to be able to be honest is the cornerstone of being able to recover. You cannot have an effective and sustained recovery from addiction. Jim, listen carefully. Poorman, listen. You cannot have the
caller's going to hang up.
Andrea?
Yeah.
Andrea,
Hold on, damn it. You cannot have a sustained and effective recovery if...
Yeah, it's delayed.
If you are dishonest. Later on, the recovery will fall apart and there will be relapse. And the fact that he's being so honest at the beginning is very positive.
What do you think about me trying to cover it up if it was me?
Yeah, well, it speaks for itself.
Okay, hey, Andrea.
Yeah.
Andrea, you're on Loveline with Robert and Simon from The Cure on KROQ-FM, Pasadena, Los Angeles.
How you guys doing? Hi, Robert.
Hello.
Hey, Robert, can you give us one more of those Loveline jingles here? I thought that was awesome.
What a Loveline.
Beautiful. Right. Okay. Oh, listen, we've got... somebody just faxed us the top 10 Cure songs. You guys want to hear these?
What authority is this on then?
It's one of our typical faxes that we get. Somebody from Pomona, Cal Poly Pomona School of Veterinary Medicine. At 10, it's Dogs Don't Bark. What? I don't know. A Labrador Like This at 9. In Between Dachshunds at 8. At 7 is Jumping Someone Else's Terrier. At 6, Spaniels Sometimes. At 5, The Basset Screams. 4, The Love Cats. 3, Love Dogs 2. Number 2 is Fire Hydrant Street. And number 1, Pictures of Spot.
I don't think Jack in Newport is going to be laughing, is he?
Jack, he's going to be looking for you at the Curry